Cultural conditioning trains us to expect a spectacle when someone reaches their absolute breaking point. We anticipate screaming matches, thrown dishes, and a grand, fiery climax. But the psychological reality for highly perceptive, deeply empathetic individuals is different. When they are pushed entirely past their limits, their most devastating departures make no sound at all. Think of this relational ending like the sudden failure of a suspension bridge. For the people driving over it when it drops, the collapse feels instantaneous. There's a loud crack, the support vanishes, and the failure appears to come from nowhere. Sit down with a civil engineer, though, and they will correct that assumption. They know a bridge doesn't fail on a random Tuesday. The collapse results from microscopic stress fractures multiplying in the steel. It's moisture wresting a critical joint out of sight, accumulating damage. Applying this to psychology, we map these physical fractures directly onto invisible human boundaries, tracking how emotional structures fail under sustained pressure. So, when a highly compassionate person quietly walks out of your life, it is rarely an impulsive emotional reaction. It is gravity finally collecting the debt on thousands of tiny failures. The structural support has simply reached a point where it can no longer sustain the load. To understand why this sudden absence feels so shocking, we have to look at the trap that sets the entire cycle in motion. It stems from a foundational misunderstanding held by the person on the receiving end, the taker in the relationship. This logic model illustrates how the dynamic is wrongly structured. People view persistent kindness as a permanent trait, an infinite resource. Empaths enable this illusion. Wired to seek harmony, they internalize excuses and actively absorb the friction of bad behavior to keep the peace. From an economic standpoint, the taker is acting logically within the rules they've been given. If someone hands you a credit card that never seems to decline, and you never see a monthly statement, you are naturally going to assume the account balance is infinite. You will simply keep swiping it. But on the other side of that transaction, the person holding the card is deeply exhausted. They are actively managing a rapidly shrinking physiological account. Every time they swallow their frustration or rationalize a disappointment, they are manually resetting their own emotional state. The patience appears endless because they mask the depletion. Yet the biological cost is being strictly locked. Even if the toll of that forgiveness is kept completely hidden from the taker, the emotional bankruptcy is still actively occurring. Since that toll is kept entirely out of sight, the brain requires an internal mechanism to track the deficit. It does this through involuntary pattern recognition. Most people process conflict by taking an isolated snapshot of a bad moment, a single argument on a specific day. Highly perceptive people run a 24/7 security camera. They capture the context, the tone of voice, and the repeating habits over long periods of time. Psychologically, this continuous surveillance manifests as a silent ledger. Instead of reacting immediately to a slight, they simply begin studying the person, quietly filing away the gaps between what that individual says and what they actually do. This process is a biological safety mechanism inherent to individuals who rely on acute observation to read rooms and anticipate needs. It functions independently of conscious malicious plotting. This matrix charts exactly how that data accumulates. Imagine a partner promises to handle weekend chores, but spends Saturday playing video games instead. To the taker, it's a low-stakes, lazy afternoon. But in the ledger, it isn't an entry about laundry. It's plotted as a data point of unreliability. Over years, these observations build an internal model stripped of excuses. When this downward trend line breaches the internal threshold, the matrix permanently locks, revealing an airtight, multi-year behavioral pattern. This explains the absolute lack of retaliation. To want to scream at someone, to want to teach them a lesson, you have to still care about the dynamic. Anger is a form of deep emotional connection. By the time this ledger closes, that investment is dead. The nervous system has metabolized the anger into pure apathy. The fight-or-flight response has resolved into a state of permanent detachment. The silence of a departing empath serves as definitive biological proof that the emotional connection is dead. The stadium is empty and the lights are off. It is crucial to distinguish this total departure from a manipulation tactic like the silent treatment. A silent treatment is designed to inflict discomfort and force the other person to change their behavior. True, absolute withdrawal has no goal for the other person. The empath isn't trying to manipulate you into behaving better. They are simply executing a clean removal of the emotional structural support you came to depend on, because they have accepted that you will never change. The consequence of this removal rarely hits the taker right away. The realization is slow and corrosive. Months later, they experience a crisis, a brutal day at work, a flat tire in the rain, and they instinctually reach for the one person who always provided an emotional safety net. They drop the bucket down, expecting the same refreshing forgiveness they've always gotten, and hit completely dry stone. The empath is nowhere to be found, completely indifferent to the crisis. People often assume this kind of departure is fueled by bitterness or a hardened heart. It is exactly the opposite. Hitting this limit is the healthy biological arrival of self-respect, finally overriding chronic self-sacrifice. This breakdown of invisible emotional labor doesn't just happen in personal dynamics. It occurs anywhere a system relies on the internal resources of individuals to function without offering replenishment in return. Consider care-based professions, nurses, teachers, and social workers. These fields are fueled by people whose job is to absorb friction and anticipate needs. When administrations treat these workers as bottomless resources, they create the same structural debt seen in a failing relationship. The system relies on their empathy to cover for systemic failures until the internal account is empty. So when these vital workforces suddenly quit en masse, it is rarely an unannounced out-of-the-blue crisis. It is the macro-scale echo of 1,000 buckets, finally hitting dry stone.